This is the first place that I ever bought. I was 42 years old. I was probably maybe 8 or 10.
Who you marry, so long as
Gone with the Wind was playing.
Like and when I'm gone,
there's a scene where Scarlett's dad is talking to her.
Plantations don't mean anything when
He said, Katie Scarlett O'Hara, you mean you don't care about the land? Land is the only thing in this world worth living for, worth fighting for.
Because it's the only thing that lasts.
Oh, Paul, you talk like
And for whatever reason, that just clicked in my little brain that you can have beautiful houses and clothes and cars and everything else, but if you have land, you're going to be okay.
Louisiana is under a state of emergency tonight after intense storms dumped as much as 3 inches of rain an hour. Livingston, Louisiana.
It took everybody, I think, south of the interstate by surprise. No one around here was concerned because it never had flooded in over 80 years or whatever. Come in thinking that everything's going to be fine, go to bed about 9:30, 10, hear this plop, 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 wake up, step out of bed and water is waist high. You don't believe it. It's just not real. Floated the dogs one at a time down the driveway, got them in the back of the truck, but the whole time it's dark and you're thinking, this isn't good. Sunday it was still raining and got on the roof and tried to save a few baby calves, but that didn't work. And little by little the screams stopped, so you knew that the cows had drowned. First I got up on that first level of that triangle, and then when I was trying to flag the helicopters down, I was on that pointed part. I grabbed a gallon of water from the kitchen when I realized I need to go on the roof, and after I got rescued, I left it up there just so that I can always, every time I pass it, I pretty much say a grateful prayer, how grateful I am I was rescued. And the Cajun Navy, God bless them. No one really knew I was back here, but they figured it out. That's the house in the front, and the deck and everything before the flood. When I came back, it was total destruction.
How high was the water?
The water's 7 feet. The ceilings are about 7 feet. I have never felt so abandoned. You know, there's a little spark that's like you can't give up, but you certainly want to, you know, because it was definitely overwhelming. And I looked up at the gate and there was a truck, or a couple of trucks, and the guy got out and it was Rusty from Louisiana Land Bank. And it was like God himself had sent angels to help me. And he said, we're here to help you, what do you need? They were like family. It was like my family showed up. These are all ones that drowned.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
They came out and they cleaned up. They came and cleaned up, and so they just did what they needed to do. Whatever they were told to do, they did it. It was very kind.
The land bank, I don't have words to explain how grateful and the feeling that you have when you're that desperate and that, you know, down, that you have smiling faces and warm hearts and helpful hands to come, you know. It's still pretty emotional, just that people care enough to help you. Both of these, you know, and I had my life and my animals came back. You know, I was lucky enough to be able to, you know, buy a couple new head and start over, and the things I'll never get back. You don't miss them anymore. Life is choices. And one of the best choices I ever made in my entire life was buying this property. Big old guy. Flood took a lot of things from me and everyone else, but it didn't take my independence or determination to have land, keep land, and live on the land. That was the second lesson that I got from that movie. You know, persistence pays off, and you never give up. And no matter how hard things get, you never give up.